Welcome to Best Friends in Franchising. I'm Morgan Knoller.
And I'm Catherine Allen.
If you're interested in franchising a new opportunity or diversifying your portfolio, you've come to the right place. We talk money, mindset, and everything in between. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Best Friends in Franchising. I'm Morgan Knoller.
And I'm Catherine Allen.
And today we have a very special guest, Meyers, the CEO and founder of Hammer and Nails, the #1 men's grooming franchise in the country. Aaron, welcome to Best Friends in Franchising.
Yeah, excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. And Morgan, when I was thinking about the brand that we're, going to have on today with Aaron, I was like, where was this 10 years ago?
Same. Honestly, same thing. I feel like we needed this 10 years ago and now it's finally here.
Yeah.
So Aaron,
yeah.
Let's start at the beginning. Your background is truly fascinating. You spent 20 years at FedEx, rose all the way to managing director, running operations across Europe, Canada, Latin America. Then you land at Massage Envy as VP of Operations and VP of Innovation. That's not a typical founder story. So you go from FedEx to Massage Envy to Hammer Nails.
Well, what's funny is I was actually with Kinko's, and I don't know if everyone remembers Kinko's, but
I use Kinko's in my own business to print all my marketing materials.
There you go. So I was with Kinko's, and Kinko's was a franchise, and Mailboxes, etc., was bought by UPS and FedEx, which was a franchise, and FedEx bought Kinko's at the same time to convert us over to FedEx offices. So I was really with Kinko's for 13 years and FedEx for the final 7. Why that makes sense is just that I did have that kind of operational experience with the franchise model, and then it made sense to go to Massage Envy. So it doesn't seem as wildly separate as it sounds when you're thinking about shipping. It didn't work, but it really was a similar industry. But I loved my time with Kinko's. I lived all over the world, as you saw. I lived in London, I lived in Europe, I lived in Mexico, I lived in Canada. So it was a great experience for me. And then I was with them from about shop 100 to about shop 1100 when we built Kinko's. And then Massage Envy, I was with them from say 200 to about shop 1200. And so I kind of lived through that growth cycle a second time. And really, as I've said, on multiple occasions, this feels so similar to me. The same type of trajectory, the same type of growth that we're experiencing, the same type of similar results. So that's how it happened. And really, when I say our founder story, is the original person who came up with the name Hammer and Nails. The name was Michael Elliott. He went on Shark Tank, and we saw him on Shark Tank, but he was pitching just a men's manicure and pedicure place. We met with Michael. We opened up one shop. And then we came to him and said, we think this has to change and evolve. He said he didn't want anything to do with it. So we bought that shop, one location from him. And then we built the concept out over the next years and kind of nailed it and made sure that it was effective and profitable. And now we're scaling it because we've done it.
No pun intended on the nailed, right?
Yeah.
I was like, Morgan, are you going to say it or am I?
Yeah.
I love is you're solving the experience, right? Whether it's the operations or innovation at Massage Envy, you're always thinking about what does the customer actually feel when they walk in. I have actually walked into a Hammer and Nails location in Roseville, right next to Mikuni Sushi. Incredible location, very fun vibe. It's super relaxing, but that's clearly the DNA of Hammer and Nails. So is that kind of, you're always thinking about what is the customer going to feel when they walk in?
Yeah, I mean, I think that in order to win in an industry and in a market that's kind of ripe for being innovated in or being disrupted like men's grooming is, we're focused on the experience, but we do that by delighting people. And the only way you delight people is to exceed expectations. And so I've learned that you exceed expectations by doing little things, lots of little things that delight throughout the experience. So that means you greet people by name because you know when they're coming in, and you have their favorite drink ready because that note's in their file. And when the phone rings, you greet them by name because we have AI technology that tells you who's calling and brings up their profile so you know everything about them when the phone rings. And during the service, we put a little drink cover over your drink so that no hair gets into your drink. And then we pause the service and hand you the drink and let you have a drink. Like, and all of these little touches add up to someone walking out a little taller, a little more confident, and feeling like they were treated like a king for an hour or two of their week.
I love that. I'm all about the surprise and delight. I used to, in my old job, I was in senior care. I love to come up with those types of concepts. And now Morgan and I both own a Soccer Stars franchise. And it's so that like I'm all about the experience. And like it's like you said, it's the little things that really add up and differentiate you from, all the other businesses out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. And we focus on, it's so weird. People think like, they're like, Aaron, this is a bit over the top, maybe, but we talk about the length of time to leave a hot towel on. So many places say apply a hot towel, but many places don't say that hot towel can only be on for 90 seconds, because then a hot towel turns into a cold, nasty towel. And we don't want that on your face, right? So
Yeah.
caring about and knowing about those little differences makes sure and leads to that kind of experience that we're delivering.
It's reminding me so much of a spa experience because I have to say, like, I always have cold feet. And if they put a hot towel on my cold feet during a massage and then it
Very
turns
nice.
cold, I'm like, well, now it's ruined because it was only for those 90 seconds and then it stays too long. And this reminds me of kind of going to a spa for the women because I do pay attention to all those little details. Am I served a beverage right away? How long am I waiting for my service? Do they know my name when I call? And we do go to a barber down the street locally in Granite Bay, and they don't know our name. And we've been quite a
Yes.
few times, and they don't answer the phone. So it's all online. There's no customer service experience. And we've actually had last minute changes where it's someone I didn't like is now cutting my son's hair, and that's a little worrisome. So I love that you're paying attention to all these things that I pay attention to and I'm
Yeah.
looking for when I go somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. You have to. I mean, we use technology to capture those notes. So even if you're traveling across the country and you visit one of our shops, they even know the conversation that you had last visit with someone else. And they even know what your drink is, and they know what your notes are on how to cut your son's hair or your hair, so that you don't have to re-explain it. So they can say, this is what it says, it's still correct. We keep track of all that. 90% of our customers book via technology. We don't believe in wait, right? You walk in the door, we're putting you in your chair, whether that's a hand and foot chair or barber chair. Really, the industry forever has been kind of set up. I'm not trying to go at other brands, but I'm just trying to say, like, in our brand story, or in any good story, there's a villain. And in our brand story, the villain is kind of all these taken number chop shops that for the last 50 to 100 years have been telling men you should get in and out cheap, you should get in and out fast, and self-care made you less masculine. And we know that is so broken way of thinking, right? And in our brand story, the hero isn't us. The hero is every guy. And we're kind of like the trusted advisor that puts our arm around the guy and says, look, you deserve more. You deserve a better experience. It should match. You drive a Mercedes, you drive a BMW, you're an executive. Why are you going to a child's haircut store? Like, go to a place that matches where you're at and experience what that feels like. And when people experience it, they stay.
I mean,
I
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to quickly go back. It's really timely what you just shared that anywhere you go in the country, any franchise owner has access to those notes and the names and how they cut their hair. Morgan and I were on a team call this morning talking about another franchise concept. And what came up was if you're a member at one of these franchises, it doesn't transfer to any other one. And so we kind of had this like debate back and forth of what we thought about that. And I just think the way you've done it is unique and it just speaks to your attention to detail. And I just love it. I think that's
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we've really tried to dive into technology and AI technology early within the brand to capture notes. We've used AI technology to answer the phone and take phone calls for people when they're not there. We use AI to respond to all of our reviews. So every review posted on any social media channel gets a response back from the POS, and it says, "Hey, franchisee, are you happy with this response?" You can hit yes, it's immediately posted. So we've tried to tap into technology to find ways to streamline that process so our franchisees can operate more profitably, less labor, deliver better, consistent experience.
I love that. I love that. That's so important as a franchise owner. So, this is a $50 billion market projected to hit over 80 billion by 2030, right? That's kind of
Yeah,
what we're
it's
looking at.
booming. The market's growing a ton. Men's grooming is bursting right now because humans, not just men, but all humans are kind of going through the switch of I want stuff, and now they're switching to I want experiences.
Mhm.
And men are kind of late to that party. Women have been like, yeah, duh. Of course we get our hair done and our feet taken care of and our nails done and we take care we like women get it instantly. Men are just realizing, oh, this is a better way to live. That I'm a better father, a better husband, a better boyfriend, a better whatever, right? I'm better in life when I present myself, I look a certain way, I feel a certain way. That's how I've been.
Yeah, and it really is about the experience, and the health and wellness space is growing, and I feel like that's right in line with what you're doing. And I have to say, at least in my family, my daughter and I get our hair done, I don't know, a few times a year, maybe four. My husband and my son are in and out of a barber shop or the kids cutting places like my husband likes to go to, trying to get him to
Yep.
switch over. But he and my son have to go probably twice a month, maybe once a
Yeah.
month if they're lucky. But I mean, their hair grows like I've never seen. Their nails, I mean, they're very healthy men, clearly, but
Yep.
my gosh,
Yep.
they are, I mean, that we spend so much money on them. And I think men have been for a very long time. So this was always going to happen. But now that Hammer and Nails is finally here, you're really disrupting the space. And it's not just a barber shop. So it started off with Mike, right? He was doing the nails and the grooming, but then it became the barber shop. But you have the leather chairs, you have the drinks. Can you talk about like what is that experience? What are you walking into, and what are all these different services being offered?
Yeah, we tried to build an experience that was almost treating men respectful. Like we didn't want gimmicks. So we didn't want our, I don't know, our barber stations to be tool chests. Or, right, we wanted to just treat guys and say, let's build a classically designed experience that when you walk in, it feels elevated, but it feels luxurious, but doesn't cost luxurious. And so we've tried to get it accessible luxury, accessible service. And so you're trying to just, when you come in, it is more speakeasy, low light, not bright overhead lights, more spotlights, polished concrete, lots of open ceilings, dark painted ceilings. It's just a different, unique feel. We're trying to make you take a break for 2 hours, 1 hour. Like find some time to unplug, de stress, and take care of yourself in an environment that you feel comfortable. That's for you. It's pretty fun for us when our franchisees give tours for the first time. A lot of times, men are with their wife or girlfriend, and the wives will walk through and they'll be like, this is nicer than where I go. And then the guy's like, but it's for me.
Yeah.
And like it like resonates, like the guy's like, wait a minute, I finally got a place for me. And that's what we're trying to be. I mean, I don't want to steal Starbucks, but I mean, Starbucks was trying to be the third place. We're trying to build that third place where guys are going to come.
Yeah, it does have that vibe. And we talked when we walked in, we were like, it felt very like Nashville in a way. I don't know if that makes sense, but sort of like laid back, relaxed, like you wanted to take your time. But the decor reminded me of walking into somewhere in Tennessee.
You went to our Roseville shop, is that
I did.
right?
Yeah.
That's the smallest shop in the country.
And I
So
loved it.
we don't build them, and that is a great shop, super successful, very, it's a cute shop. We normally build 1,700, 200 square feet. That's only 1,200 square foot. we were kind of testing out different models when we built it. It's a great shop. It's my local shop too, so we happen to live close to each other, and which is odd that we didn't have never met before this.
Gotta
But
happen. You gotta take this offline.
yeah, exactly.
And I obviously went to the one in Dallas that I know you were sick, but like that one was
Such a
amazing. That
bummer.
was incredible in
Yeah,
Dallas.
beautiful, much more current model, similar, correctly sized. Yeah, we're definitely have kind of designed and built these shops just not be a lot of these hair care brands are stuffy. They look like something your grandfather would go to, and we're just trying to buck that trend and build something more modern and more suited for today's man.
So let's talk about membership model. Obviously, that's something Morgan and I talk a lot about on this show. It's so crucial in franchising, and it really changes the conversation from how do I get new customers to how do I take care of my existing customers. But how does that work at Hammer and Nails?
Yeah, so the beauty of this is that you mentioned I came from Massage Envy. I basically, one of the things that rolled up to me at Massage Envy was all of the customer service calls that rolled up to the call center, and we would review those monthly. When I built the membership at Hammer and Nails, we built and took out everything that caused friction. So we removed 12-month commitments. There is no commitment. You can cancel whenever you want. You're not happy, cancel. We don't take another EFT. We cancel you that minute. You never lose a service. You can share your services. You can do whatever you want with them. You can put them on a gift card, send it to your friend. You can bring your friend with you. You can bring your son with you. Those are your services to use as you see fit. So we tried to build a membership that had no reason not to join. If you're coming back, then save money and join. And that's really our question. Are you going to come back? And when guys say yes, then this is a no-brainer to become a member. It incents you to take care of yourself. You're going to keep coming back to us, but you don't have any risk. You're not trapped and have to fight against that. So we've designed it to be a place where you stay and become a member because you love us, not because we've somehow gotcha.
I like that. I like that a lot. It's such a
70% of our revenue is from membership dues. Our latest item 19, our average revenue was 929,000, heading up towards $1 million. Our largest shop was almost 2.2 million. So when you think about 70% of that coming from revenue from dues, I mean, we are absolutely a recurring membership model. Like it's in our DNA. We don't just happen to sell memberships. We are a private club that men join because they want to be a part of our.
yeah, and the culture. So is the other 30% product? Is that
No,
what
it's mostly walk-in, like,
okay.
first time guests. But yeah, so mostly first time guests, and then like 3-4% retail. We're not a heavy retail business. We are a service business that's based on members.
Awesome. All right, let's switch over to the franchise side. So talk to us a little bit about who like is your ideal franchisee candidate? What's the makeup of, your average franchise owner? And then who's really thriving in this system?
Yeah, I mean, it's such a wide gamut of people that are doing well in our system. I'll say that we don't use the word passive. We don't believe in passive income, and we believe that you should be involved within your business, and those franchisees do better. It can become something where you pull back if you have a manager and you've established a leader to run your business and you've paid some attention to the business. You can pull back over time, but we really encourage our franchisees to engage and pay attention and give this business some love. If you do that, your results do well. Many of our franchisees are kind of corporate refugees that have left for whatever reason. They're tired of being laid off. They're tired of the building value for someone else other than themselves. About 60% of our franchisees come from kind of that corporate refugee. But we've even done well. We've got 3 Navy SEALs, 5 veterans. We have such a wide gamut, women and men. The key thing is very few of it. I don't even think any of our franchisees are from the hair care space. We're looking for business people. We need people that know how to lead and treat people well, lead a team. If you can do that, you can do well within our brand. we've built the systems and processes to support you so that you don't have to be an expert in the grooming space to be able to own and operate successfully a hammer and nail.
And I think that's the beauty about franchising, right? That's why you're buying the franchise. You don't have to have experience cutting hair. You just have to want to own a business, not necessarily own real estate, but run something, get some revenue, but enjoy the brand, understand the brand, be out there. And Catherine and I do try and tell our clients quite often, it is never passive. There's no such
Yeah,
thing. Semi
there is
absent,
really not.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe eventually, but even in the
Yes.
beginning, please don't assume that that's how
Yes.
it's going to be. That's not realistic.
There is work to be done. There's
There's
real
work
work.
to be done. And you
Yeah.
need to set the foundation. Like you want to build a solid foundation and set an amazing culture like from day one. And
Yes. Then
you
you
know,
can pull back. That's what
then
I'm
you
saying.
can pull back with a manager. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and even when you pull back, as you said, you're still going to be coming in. You still got to make sure that you're inspecting what you expect, as we know as leaders, and the owners that understand that are brand. You can be a C operator and get good, profitable results out of a hammer and nails. You can't be an F. Like if you're just non-existent, the business doesn't just run without any attention.
No, and franchisors want you to succeed, right? So if you're an F, then you're really not trying because you've got
Yeah.
a whole support system behind you. So when people are like, "How do you fail?" I'm like, "You just you just give up," is the answer.
Well, yeah, I mean, when I see people fail in franchising, I mean, I don't like calling us IKEA furniture, but as an analogy, I think it makes sense. You bought furniture like from IKEA, it comes with directions, and when you throw the directions out and you say, "I know better. I bought this
Yes.
franchise, but I'm the genius. I'm the entrepreneur. I have all these answers." You should not go into franchising if that's who you
No.
are. It is not going to be good for you. You're not going to be happy and you're not going to succeed, believe it or not. You're going to fight the system and the process the whole way. And if that happens, we try our hardest to identify those candidates. And we do it often where we tell people, this is not, you should go start your own thing.
Right.
You want freedom. You want to be able to control your menu, control every little aspect. This is not.
Yeah, we always say like Steve Jobs would not have been a good franchise owner. Like
No,
he was
you
not
would
going to follow
not.
your systems.
No. Right. If you're a true entrepreneur at that level, yeah, franchising will probably drive him nuts. I think that's a
Right.
great point.
So you have, is it true? So there might be an updated stat, but 65% of your owners own multi-unit.
Yeah, it's about right. I mean, our brand is growing from within. Our franchisees are adding second and third shops. I think that's a good vote of confidence, and we're proud of that. I mean, if
Yeah.
people did it once and now they're doing it again, our brand continues to be focused on ensuring that they have a good experience and are able to kind of see that experience, and when they have it, they buy again. Yeah, we're proud of that for sure.
That's amazing.
It
From
is.
an investment standpoint, so you're starting with the franchise fee, you're ramping up the investment, getting the doors open. Walk us through, our memberships rolling in before the doors are open. What does that investment look like for someone buying in?
Yeah, our latest item 19 says something like 750 to 920, and that's without TI. So TI is not factored into that number. We think that some franchisors like net that number out. We don't do that. We just state the full cost. We have franchisees that are getting rent abatement or, $100,000, $200,000 in TI to offset that. So it can be a lower out of pocket cost, but we don't quote that in our item 19. So that's the cost. What was the second part of your question? It was
Yeah, the membership.
cost
So,
and
yeah, how are you getting those members in the door before opening?
gotcha. So we focus on pre-sales. We're continually evolving and learning how to do better and better pre-sales. We just had a record for a shop that opened in Arizona, got to 700 members in its first 90 days, and we thought incredible. We were high-fiving, everybody's so excited. And then we're like, I wonder how long until we break that. Well, we just opened a shop in Indianapolis that's going to get to 700 members in its first 60 days. And so pre-sales is the way, right? So we have a 90-day pre-sale window. where we run digital ads and we do other types of ads throughout the network. Those ads come into a fully automated AI controlled CRM. So they're immediately text. They can even take a phone call, even without a franchisee intervention. And members can even sign up for the membership without having talked to someone. Of course, they like to talk to someone, and we do, and we call them and talk with them. But I'm just saying we've built a system that is fully automated and enables you to sell memberships without any human intervention. And that gets us about 20 to 30% of our pre-sale members are landed through the AI intervention, and then 60 to 70 are done through actual phone calls. But we only do 90 days, and our goal is to get you to at least 200, 250 members at startup. It really does. It does a lot, right? Sorry, what was that?
Sorry, Aaron. At what point do you cap out of members? Like, and you want to open your next location? Like,
we right around 700 to 1,000 is when you start need to thinking about your next location, which goes back to your original question of why do so many people own two? Because they're getting there when you've been open 90 days and you're like, oh boy, at 1,000 members. I mean, if you're at 700 in 3 or 4 months, and I'm not saying everybody gets there. I'm not trying to set that expectation. I'm just saying if you get there that fast, you've got to start looking for your next location because the demand is through the roof, and you're not going to be able to handle that at once. So normally at 700, you should start looking for your next spot. But as far as true capacity, even with 8 barber chairs and 4 hand and foot, you have capacity of something like 4,000 members within a shop. Nobody has 4,000 members because not every guy wants to come in on Tuesday at 6.
Yeah, sure.
Right? So everybody wants to come in Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so we don't get, some of our shops get to 1,200, 13, 14, 1,500 members, and they get there because we're trying to move people off of those peak hours. We've learned to manage that by have free upgrade days on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays to try and help people move off of those core days so that we can fit more members into our location.
Smart. So speaking of territory availability, I think you flagged Northeast, Midwest as hot markets. For people listening, where's our white space? What does that look like?
I mean, we have mapped out A+ territories of over 1,000 available territories throughout the country, meaning almost no part of the country is sold out except for maybe Miami, Florida, right? So there is available space all over the country for people to expand. I mean, really, we have 70 shops open. We have another 40, 50 in development. We'll cross over 100 shops this year. We'll have another 100 shops behind that. But that tells you that there's, 800 available spots across the country for you to plant. There's great opportunity right now. Now it's going to go fast. And I'm not trying to be a salesman, but I'm just saying it's going to happen. I've been through this twice before. I know how fast this is going to happen. So people are going to have to identify what they want to do and move if they want to get in.
Yeah, I think
I've done a few territory checks and you're sold out in the areas I've looked.
Oh my gosh. Is that even possible with only 70 open?
I have some more clients for you and I got to look at some other places, but I'm like, oh my gosh.
Where were they at?
Dublin, California. Well, you know California. You're in California.
Oh,
So
yeah, the
Dublin
Bay Area. Yeah.
Some Bay Area. I think another was in...
Man, we just opened in Pleasanton. How far is that from Dublin?
Next to it.
Yeah, so funny that you just bet. But there's another one 10 miles away that you could open. So I don't agree with that.
Maybe I need to I need to resubmit my city.
Yeah, I would double. I would go back.
Yeah. I'm going to widen the search. I'm going to widen the search.
Widen the search for sure. And I just love hammer nails. I have to say, I can't believe I'm spending $45 on my son's haircut once or twice a month. But I think that because social media out there and all these boys' haircuts and men's haircuts have become so popular. I mean, I agree with you. I think hammer and nails is going to sell out quickly because it's this momentum of men's grooming, men's health. all of it's out there and you've got the one-stop shop.
Yeah, we've tried to be the only place you can go, and we are, where you get a haircut, a shave, a manicure, a pedicure, and waxing. You're not getting all those services. Right now, you have to go to 3 businesses to get all of that. So we say we're the complete grooming experience. We even have like a get ready to go out station with mouthwash, and our goal is cologne that's in there for men. The point is, we don't need a lot of guys leave the barber and they have to go take a shower. Our goal is you can leave our business and you're ready to go out from
Oh, I love
here.
that.
We don't want you to have to go home and shower.
Is the cologne specially made? Is it like Hammer and Nail cologne, or is it
Yeah,
another brand?
yeah, we don't we will continue to expand our own brand as we grow the brand, and it's for sure an opportunity for us. There's you could get in a long line of people that are like, "Oh my gosh, you only have 5 products. You should have 50." And I'm like, "We understand." But right now we're using multiple cologne brands that we carry. But the goal is that you have access to high-end products in every single hammer and nails that are free for use as you get ready to go out for the night. Even little pocket, like I said, little pocket mouthwashes.
So
Anything
cute.
we can do to help you get ready, that's what we do.
I mean, that is the biggest pet peeve with men after going to the barber shop is having to take a shower
You
after.
got to shower, right?
Yeah.
Well, we've built a wash station into every station. A lot of haircut chop shops make you get up and walk to the wash, which is again not the right experience. So it's another one of those details that we would never, once you sit in your chair, you're not getting up until you're done.
Ask Aaron our favorite question, Morgan.
Oh, okay. For someone that's interested in buying this franchise, what do you want them to know if they're thinking about franchise ownership?
I think that I want them to know that there is work to be done, but it doesn't need to be a passion play. You don't have to be like, this is your life and you're all about grooming. I want them to know that if you care about building a business and building something for yourself, that you can do that. I think that I encourage people that I think people have been told that you have to have this, like, do what you love and it has to be this thing that you're passionate about. I think you can be passionate about business and passionate about building value and for you and your family and for your generations to come and building something for yourself. And our brand will do well for you if you have that passion. You don't have to be that expert within the space.
Great answer.
Great answer. And where we're sitting as franchise consultants, I mean, Hammer Nails is just such an incredible opportunity concept. It checks so many boxes: membership, reoccurring revenue, growing industry, differentiated model. And like, you've done this, like, this is your third time. The leadership team has been doing this for years. They've built, they've scaled. And like, that's, I was having a conversation earlier, well, a few today with, potential prospects. And yeah, just like what you were saying about, for me, like with Soccer Stars, what really, sold me is, yes, a lot of these franchises have great models, but it's the leadership team. Who is the leadership team, and are they continuing to innovate and push the boundaries, and what's the vision in 5, 10, 15 years? Like, that's what I want to be a part of. And I loved what you said about AI, and you're truly leveraging AI as a superpower to benefit the business and the franchise owner so they can do business at a discounted cost, or it's more cost effective, which, as
Sure.
Morgan and I are franchise owners, we really appreciate that. And also with AI, like, where these businesses are going to win are on the experience. It's all about, so you're like, you're really tapping like two things I'm very passionate about. So I just love this concept.
Yeah, we've tried to. I mean, innovation. I was president of innovation at Massage Envy. I'm a big believer in driving innovation within the business. This is a weird thing we've done though by bringing in manicures and pedicures for men. We basically almost like pre-innovated, meaning we're into this market early and we're helping establish us so that you have right. You're going to get 70% of your revenue from men's, like the barber side of the business. The nail side is 30%, but it's growing fast. So we've almost pre innovated so that you have a second revenue stream to kind of be the encore for growth down the road, which is actually easier to do it now because now you're an expert and you're early into a market as opposed to trying to do it down the road when everybody else is going to try and catch up and try to figure that out. We're going to be entrenched as the nationwide provider for that service. But the other thing I'll say in innovation is every good idea that we've built into our brand has come from our franchisees. We harvest those ideas I talked about. We're always looking. Now, that doesn't mean every idea from my franchisee is a good one. 99% are no for various reasons, right? But the good ideas we vet, we validate, and if they work, we implement across the brand.
I'm just curious. At first, I love that. And I don't know if you look at this data, are the people doing the pedicure, manicure, are they Gen Z, millennial? Are they younger? Like, are you looking? And so will that grow or any data around that? I'm curious.
Yeah. Super interesting. So we designed this business when we built it. We said, we're going to attract 30 to 50. What actually happened is we attracted 14 to 90. And we were not prepared or did not expect that. And it's because what we've learned is the younger generation gets self-care already. It's like a no-brainer to them. So as that generation grows older, they're already going to be adopting this. I mean, my son was in martial arts. He was always on the mat. He did MMA, and he's been getting pedicures since he was 8 because his feet had calluses from being on the mat so much, right? So it's grown up as a part of his life. And then on the older spectrum, as you age, taking care of your hands and feet becomes harder for you, and you need help to stay on top of that, to stay healthy. So we designed it one way, but we really have attracted this broad gamut. And the point you're making is, though, that the young generation is going to continue to drive the utilization of all of our services, which is why I'm excited that the nail care may be only 20-30% of our revenue, but it's a profitable part of our business and it's a fast growing part of our business. So we've already pre-innovated that piece.
So cool.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Aaron. And if any listeners are interested in hammer and nails, you can come talk to Catherine or myself, or go to thefranchiseinsiders.com or find us on LinkedIn.
Thank you for listening. And thanks for being on, Aaron. Such a pleasure having you. This has been
fun. Thanks, guys. Good talking with you today. Take care.
Take care. For those of you listening, if you have any questions or are interested in franchising, please go to thefranchiseinsiders.com. You can find more information about Morgan and myself. And we'll see everyone next week.
Thank you.
Bye.